Okay, we are back again with healthy notes from Serge Kahili King. Healing relationships, and this is a technique to delete sexual abuse effects. So we recall, if anyone needs, you can teach it to them, or if you need it yourself, you can recall the incident of abuse, and you imagine you had the will and power to refuse the advance or change the situation. And you do all of this very vividly in your mind. You can also use physical moves like pushing back or whatever to aid your imagination. And you do this a few times until the feelings change. A very nice one. And what is the next? Let's see. It's a long one. Oh, that's some note from the book of John in the Bible. And he's saying there, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends," he said. So henceforth, not servants. For the servants, what's written there? Oweth not what his Lord does. But I have called you friends, for all things I have heard I have made known unto you. That is Proverbs 17:17 and Exodus 33:11 in this context. Why is that mentioned here? I don't remember, funny-wise enough. So what we have here? There are different, it's about friendship, so about the glories of friendship. And actually in Hawaiian tradition, there are different kinds of names for different kinds of friends. So there is, for example, one word which is describing a beloved companion friend. It's a general term. Then there is maka maka, as someone with whom you are face to face. Then there is aikane, as like a personal friend, and pilia loka, and this is a sticky love, like a romantic lover. And there's aukoi, this is the axe handle, someone with whom you're doing your fights together. So these are just some considerations about friendship. What else? So there's again the subject matter of criticism. So when we receive criticism, we can also at the same time compliment ourselves, because criticism is creating very bad feelings. So we can just balance it with any compliment that's coming to our mind. And we can memorize 4 or 5 such occasions, and when we were criticized, and balance them, so to say, with some compliments. And that gives a relief to tension. And there is another exercise about criticism. It means to partially accept the criticism and turn it into a positive criticism, like, I could have done better. But no one has the right to judge us on these terms, because only we know how much we tried or the things. So we can see sometimes there may be some reason for a criticism, and maybe some reason, some good point that we can change, and we need not throw away the criticism completely, but if it's done in an unfair way, etc., we can balance that. So then there is a technique for distant healing. This is the first distant healing described here in this book. So that can be done by love light or clouds of color, colorful clouds. So you imagine yourself surrounded by a field of positive energy in form of different elements, and increase the energy by pico breathing. It is the breathing. While you breathe in, you have your attention above the head. When you breathe out, you have the attention below the feet. So we let this field expand to the person that we want to help, and assume that this energy field is responsive to our intention. And we can instruct this energy field and on how it's supposed to help. For example, we can give this field the power to enlighten, to release, to focus, to center, to bless, to empower. So that's one method of distant healing. This is the anti-critical exercise number 3. So, as we were saying before, if the critic is accurate, we can acknowledge it and say something like, "You have the right to feel unhappy about that." And maybe say, "I'm sorry," and we can give an explanation. So if we give the person the right, then we don't feel any more so bad about it. That's the idea behind it. Okay, another one, because that was short. It's about core values. So we can make a list of 10 things we would give our life for, or change our life for. And imagine situations in which this could happen, and note how we would feel. And we can reduce each thing to a keyword. It's interesting to think of these core values. Okay, one more. That's about disengagement. So we can imagine a comfortable space with all details of smell, touch, sight, taste, etc. So mentally we invite a person there with whom we are engaged, with this nice arrangement for a talk. Let that person know it's time for a change, and that greater happy will be elsewhere. Greater happiness can be found elsewhere, because this engagement has come to a point where there is no more development or whatever. So we can try to see the positive side, that other chances are somewhere else. Imagine the person is understanding what you're telling in your imagination. Then we can open the door to a bright path and the person reaching this new destination. And we can repeat this until the relation actually changes. We don't need to necessarily tell too much to the person, but in this way we can bring about a change, positive change. Okay, I think that's enough for this one. See you soon on Healthy Notes.